Listening section directions. This test measures your ability to understand conversations and lectures in English. The listening section is divided into two separate timed parts. You will hear each conversation or lecture only one time. After each conversation or lecture, you will answer some questions on it. The questions typically ask about the main idea and supporting details. Some questions ask about a speaker's purpose or attitude. Answer the questions based on what is stated or implied by the speakers. You may take notes while you listen. You may use your notes to help you answer the questions. Notes will not be scored. In some questions, you will see this icon. This means that you will hear, but not see. Part of the question. Some of the questions have special directions. These directions appear in a gray box on the screen. Most questions are worth 1 point. If a question is worth more than 1 point, it will have special directions that indicate how many points you can receive. You must answer each question. After you answer, click on Next, then click on OK to confirm your answer and go on to the next question. After you click on OK, you cannot return to previous questions. In an actual test or during this practice test, a clock at the top of the screen will show you how much time is remaining. The clock will not count down while you are listening. The clock will count down only while you are answering questions. Click on Continue at any time to dismiss these directions.
Listen to a conversation between a student and a professor. They are discussing students' term paper topic on food packaging.
Good afternoon, Professor. I wanted to talk to you about my term paper topic. I'm interested in exploring the impact of food packaging on the environment and consumer health. Do you have any advice or suggestions?
Good afternoon. That's a timely and important topic to research. Food packaging plays a significant role in our daily lives, and its implications are far-reaching. To begin, I suggest narrowing down your focus. Are you specifically looking at a particular type of food packaging, or examining the broader aspects of packaging in the food industry?
Thank you, Professor. I think I want to take a broader approach and examine the various types of food packaging used across different food categories. I want to understand the environmental consequences of different packaging materials and the potential health impacts associated with certain packaging choices.
That sounds like a comprehensive and informative study. To gather relevant information, I recommend exploring scholarly articles, research papers, and industry reports on food packaging. These sources will provide you with a solid foundation of knowledge and help you identify key issues and trends in the field.
That's a great suggestion, Professor. I'll make sure to dive deep into the literature to gather a comprehensive understanding of the topic. Are there any specific areas or subtopics within food packaging that you think I should focus on?
Absolutely. You might consider investigating the use of plastic packaging and its environmental impact, exploring alternatives such as biodegradable or compostable materials, or analyzing the influence of labeling and marketing strategies on consumer behavior. Additionally, examining the regulatory framework surrounding food packaging and its effectiveness in addressing environmental and health concerns could be a valuable angle to explore.
Those are excellent suggestions, Professor. I'll incorporate those subtopics into my research. I'm also interested in gathering real-world perspectives. Do you recommend any interviews or surveys I could conduct?
Conducting interviews or surveys can provide valuable insights. You may consider reaching out to experts in the field, such as packaging engineers, environmental scientists, or professionals working in the food industry. Their expertise and experiences can provide you with first-hand knowledge and unique perspectives on the challenges and potential solutions related to food packaging.
I appreciate the suggestion, Professor. I will reach out to professionals in the field to gather their perspectives. Lastly, do you have any advice on structuring my term paper?
A well-structured term paper can effectively present your research findings. I recommend starting with an introduction that provides an overview of the topic and its significance. Then, divide the main body into sections that explore each subtopic in detail, supported by evidence and citations. Finally, conclude your paper by summarizing your findings, discussing the implications and suggesting future directions for research or potential solutions.
Thank you, Professor. Your guidance has been incredibly helpful. I feel more confident now in approaching my term paper on food packaging. I'm excited to delve deeper into this important topic.
I'm glad I could assist you. It's a pleasure to see you enthusiastic about your research. Remember to manage your time effectively, engage critically with the sources you find, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have any further questions or need additional guidance.
What is the main topic of the conversation between the student and the professor? What specific advice does the professor give to the student regarding gathering information for the term paper? What does the professor imply about the student's initial approach to the term paper topic? Why does the professor suggest dividing the main body of the term paper into sections exploring each subtopic in detail? What can be inferred about the professor's expectations for the student's term paper?
Listen to part of a lecture in a theater class.
Today, we're going to explore the fascinating innovations in set design by a renowned French painter. But before we delve into the specifics, let me start by providing some context on the historical significance of set design in the world of theater.
Professor, sorry to interrupt, but why is set design so important in theater?
Excellent question. Set design plays a crucial role in creating the visual world of a theatrical production. It helps transport the audience to different times, places, and moods, enhancing the overall storytelling experience. Now, let's focus on the contributions of the French painter I mentioned earlier, Henri Matisse. Henri Matisse, known primarily as a painter, made significant contributions to the field of set design during the early 20th century. His innovative approach revolutionized the way sets were conceptualized and created. One of Matisse's notable achievements was his collaboration with the Ballets Russes, a renowned ballet company. Matisse's collaboration with the Ballets Russes allowed him to combine his artistic vision with the art of performance. He designed sets and costumes for several ballet productions, including Le Chant du Rossignol, The Song of the Nightingale, and La Danse, The Dance. In these works, Matisse's use of vivid colors, bold shapes, and abstract forms created visually stunning and emotionally evocative environments. Matisse's approach to set design was characterized by his ability to transform the stage into a living canvas, where colors and shapes interacted harmoniously with the performers. He broke away from the traditional notion of realistic representation and instead embraced a more abstract and expressive style. For example, in Le Chant du Rossignol, Matisse used large, colorful cutout shapes to represent natural elements such as trees, flowers, and birds. By simplifying and stylizing these forms, he created a dynamic and visually striking backdrop that complemented the ballet's themes and movements. In La Danse, Matisse employed bold, sweeping brushstrokes and vibrant hues to convey the energy and rhythm of the dancers. The set design became an integral part of the performance, enhancing the choreography and engaging the audience on a deeper sensory level. Matisse's innovations in set design had a lasting impact on the field, inspiring subsequent generations of theater artists and designers. His bold use of color, abstraction, and visual storytelling techniques challenged traditional norms and expanded the possibilities of theatrical aesthetics.
What is the main topic of the lecture in the theater class? What was one of Henri Matisse's notable achievements in set design? What does the professor suggest is the significance of set design in theater? What attitude does the professor express towards Henri Matisse's innovations in set design? Why does the professor mention Le Chant du Rossignol and La Danse in the lecture? What can be inferred about the professor's perspective on the traditional notion of set design in theater?
Listen to part of a lecture in an environmental science class. Today, we're going to explore the fascinating factors that contribute to the increased growth of shrubs in Arctic Alaska. This phenomenon has garnered significant attention in recent years due to its implications for the fragile Arctic ecosystem and climate change. Let's dive into the topic and understand the underlying factors.
Professor, but why is the increased growth of shrubs in Arctic Alaska significant?
Excellent question, James. The increased growth of shrubs in Arctic Alaska is significant for several reasons. First, it alters the landscape and vegetation composition, impacting the overall biodiversity and ecological balance of the region. Second, it affects the reflectivity of the land surface, known as albedo, which can influence regional and global climate patterns. Understanding the factors behind this growth is crucial for comprehending the broader environmental changes occurring in the Arctic. Now, let's explore some of the factors contributing to the increased growth of shrubs in Arctic Alaska. One primary factor is rising temperatures resulting from climate change. As the Arctic warms at a faster rate compared to other regions, it creates more favorable conditions for plant growth. Warmer temperatures extend the growing season and promote the survival and reproduction of shrubs. Another factor is the lengthening of the snow-free period. With earlier snowmelt in spring and later snowfall in autumn, shrubs have a longer window for growth and development. This extended period allows them to accumulate more energy and resources, leading to increased biomass and expansion of their range. Additionally, changes in soil conditions play a role in shrub growth. As permafrost thaws in the Arctic, it alters soil moisture, nutrient availability, and drainage patterns. These changes can favor shrub species that are more adapted to these new conditions, enabling them to outcompete other plant species and dominate the landscape. Human activities, such as increased human presence, infrastructure development, and changes in land use, also contribute to the growth of shrubs in Arctic Alaska. These activities can create disturbances that benefit shrubs, including the creation of open spaces, soil disturbances, and nutrient inputs. To provide some examples, studies have shown that certain shrub species, like willows and birches, are expanding their range and density in response to these factors. They are encroaching into areas previously dominated by grasses and mosses. This expansion alters the structure and function of the ecosystem, affecting wildlife habitat, carbon storage, and nutrient cycling.
What is the main topic of the lecture in the environmental science class? What is one significant impact of the increased growth of shrubs on the Arctic ecosystem mentioned by the professor? What does the professor suggest is the connection between rising temperatures and the increased growth of shrubs in Arctic Alaska? Why does the professor mention changes in soil conditions in relation to shrub growth? What is the likely outcome of the lengthening of the snow-free period, according to the professor? What can be inferred about the professor's view on the long-term implications of human activities in the Arctic?
Listen to a conversation between a student and a librarian employee.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a book that I need for my senior thesis. It's called The Role of Technology in Modern Education by John Smith. Do you have a copy available?
Hello, yes, we do have that book in our collection. Let me check the catalog to see if it's currently available on the shelves.
Thank you so much. I've been searching for it everywhere, and I really need it to complete my research.
I understand how important it is for your senior thesis. Give me a moment to look it up. Good news, we have one copy of The Role of Technology in Modern Education available. It's currently on the 4th floor in the education section. The call number is EDU 456. Would you like me to show you where it is?
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, please. I'm not very familiar with the layout of the library, so I appreciate your assistance.
Of course, follow me, and I'll guide you to the right section. While we're on our way, may I ask what specific information you're looking for in the book?
For my thesis, I'm examining how technology has influenced teaching methodologies in the last decade. I'm particularly interested in the impact of online learning platforms and virtual reality in classrooms.
That sounds like a fascinating topic. The role of technology in modern education should provide you with valuable insights. It covers various aspects of technology integration and its implications for both teachers and students.
That's exactly what I need. I'm hoping to find some case studies and data to support my arguments. Are there any related books or resources you would recommend?
Absolutely. Alongside the role of technology in modern education, I suggest checking out Digital Learning, Transforming Education in the Digital Age by Emily Johnson. It delves deeper into the practical applications of technology in different educational settings. Additionally, Education and Technology, Key Issues and Debates, edited by Michael Davis, is a comprehensive compilation of research articles from leading scholars in the field.
Thank you for those recommendations. I'll definitely look into them. I appreciate your help in finding the book I needed. This will significantly contribute to the quality of my senior thesis.
You're most welcome. It's our pleasure to assist students like you in their academic pursuits. Remember, if you have any more questions or require further assistance, don't hesitate to ask. That's what we're here for.
What is the main purpose of the conversation between the student and the librarian? Where can the student find the book The Role of Technology in Modern Education in the library? Listen again to part of the lecture. Then answer the question.
You're most welcome. It's our
Typecast.
pleasure to assist students like you in their academic pursuits. Remember, if you have any more questions or require further assistance, don't hesitate to ask. That's what we're here for.
What does the librarian mean when he says,
It's our pleasure to assist
Typecast.
students like you in their academic pursuits.
why does the librarian recommend additional books to the student? What can be inferred about the student's previous attempts to find the book before approaching the librarian?
Listen to part of a lecture in a geology class on how some ancient desert lakes formed. Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to delve into a captivating topic in geology, the formation of ancient desert lakes. Have you ever wondered how these expansive bodies of water came to be in such arid environments? Well, researchers have put forth an intriguing hypothesis that offers some insights. But before we dive into that, let me ask a question to one of our students. Sarah, what comes to your mind when you think about ancient desert lakes?
Well, Professor, I've always been curious about how these lakes could exist in such dry regions. What factors contribute to their formation? Excellent question, Isha. The hypothesis we'll explore today suggests that ancient desert lakes were formed by a combination of climatic changes and tectonic activity. Let's delve deeper into this idea. Around millions of years ago, the Earth's climate underwent significant shifts, leading to alternating periods of wetter and drier conditions. During the wetter periods, increased rainfall occurred in desert regions, resulting in temporary water accumulation. These episodes of enhanced precipitation could last for several thousand years, allowing lakes to form. Professor continued, now, let's consider the role of tectonic activity. In some desert regions, tectonic forces caused the Earth's crust to uplift or deform. This uplift created natural basins or depressions that could trap water flowing from surrounding areas during the wet periods. These basins acted as the perfect receptacles for collecting and retaining water, forming ancient desert lakes. To illustrate this process, let's take an example. Imagine a region with a series of interconnected basins, created by tectonic forces. During a wetter period, increased rainfall fills these basins with water. The lakes that form can be substantial, covering vast areas. As the climate shifts to a drier phase, the lakes gradually evaporate or drain, leaving behind evidence of their existence in the form of sedimentary deposits and characteristic landforms. The geological record provides evidence supporting this hypothesis. Fossilized remains of aquatic organisms, sediment layers indicative of lake deposits, and distinctive shoreline features have been found in desert regions worldwide. These findings lend credibility to the idea that ancient desert lakes were indeed a reality. Additionally, the study of isotopes and chemical signatures preserved in lake sediments can provide valuable insights into past climatic conditions. By analyzing the composition of these sediments, scientists can reconstruct the hydrological history of ancient desert lakes and decipher the long-term climate patterns that shaped them.
What is the main topic of the lecture, And why is it discussed? What factors does the professor mention as contributing to the formation of ancient desert lakes? Listen again to part of the lecture. Then answer the question.
The hypothesis we'll explore today suggests that ancient desert lakes were formed by a combination of climatic changes and tectonic activity. Let's delve deeper into this idea.
What does the professor mean when he says?
Let's delve deeper into this idea.
Why does the professor mention the geological record and isotopes? What is the likely outcome of the lakes formed during winter periods when the climate shifts to a drier phase? What can be inferred about the significance of studying ancient desert lakes?